Hey guys, we're back in the office. We gave you two videos while we were on vacation regarding SPY. I think we also gave you Nvidia and Palantir and some of the megaphone patterns that we were watching. Everybody had turned bearish, but the Discord, we stayed calm. Our AI trigger was up going into the Friday low of the 21st. We said it was a bear trap in our Discord, and it turns out that's what it was. And the holiday was a typical short squeeze. So the downside of dark pulls hit. We held the megaphone pattern we had told you was at the 651 support. If that held, we were going to all-time highs with a possible resistance area about 63, 683 and 692, with 691 being our first AI trigger. And we know that there's a dark pull at 712. All right, let's talk about the rotation for this last week. We saw a lot of rotation into metals, right? Very specific metals like MOC. We were seeing some action. We saw rotations into healthcare. Stocks like NOEG were getting high volume. We were tracking them. And we saw a little bit of a defensive rotation with that bear trap. This rotation confirms the whole move, right? SPY was bouncing off the dark pool of the 650 area and into the megaphone pattern. And we were seeing imbalance to the buy side all week, 5 days straight of imbalance buy side with maybe a little bit of a trimming on Tuesday, which was maybe just defensive accumulation, but it wasn't bearish, even though everybody was bearish into the holiday season. Some of the levels that we want to watch in the long term is the SPY support holding at around 682. If 682 fails, 673 is actually a very strong support. There's a lot of dark pull activity there. So you could look for a buy signal. So if we go under, let's say 676, you can buy long. We're going to take a long position into maybe the December OPEX. VIX is cooling down. So besides all the rhetoric, market makers are not worried about anything just yet, right? We have hedging into January, but nothing just yet. So we wanted to remind you folks about this megaphone pattern we had said right here. On Thursday, everybody was bearish, but this protected down here into the September low. It tapped a little bit on both September lows and then the October 13th low, and we hit right into the holiday seasonality. Now we're butting up against the 683, 692 resistance with a possible tapping of the top of the megaphone pattern. So what happens on the daily? If the megaphone pattern rejects, then we come down and possibly, we can retest mid-range, but we can easily come back, retest. Let's say that the market doesn't want to give up too much. It says, all right, we're going to hit, let's say 676 here, midstream of the megaphone pattern and come out. Now, if the 676 breaks down, we're going to come down waterfalls, break the 666, come down through 660, come all the way back, and then we got to do a little bit of retesting down here again, the 650 range, or even break under it. It's possible that we break under and we start getting to some of these other dark pools that have not hit yet. But the pattern defended the megaphone bottom. This is a full retracement of the megaphone top. If it's a breakout, we continue into the holiday season. If it's a rejection, then you could take a short. But what I like to do is wait for 2 days confirmation. So let's just say we hit it, we reject. I want to see I'll take puts, but I want to see a rejection, because if 676 holds on the smaller time frame, we're just going to go back up, right, and keep breaking it down. The market might kind of do one of these funky, build outs, because there's no rule that says that it has to go on the bottom of the megaphone pattern, which would be back down. And I'm very wary of that into a holiday seasonality. The market might accumulate, right? We hit here, we came up over it, broke down, but the market didn't actually come back all the way down to the bottom of the megaphone pattern. It kind of defended right about here at the 644 area, which is another dark pool that we have on the smaller time frame. So keep an eye on the megaphone pattern on a daily. We're on an uptrend into the end of December, covering market makers kind of making their money, and let's just be cautious betting against it. On the 15-minute, again, this is where we had said that we had caught a quick pivot on Thursday. A short came in, and then on the daily we were still long. So this 652 area we had just shown you is along on the megaphone pattern, and now straight holiday squeeze into Thanksgiving, 3-day weekend, now going into the December 2nd pivot. So we look for, do we top out on the megaphone right here at 691 and then start coming down into the first week of December? We will see. We'll take it one step at a time. But if the 691 rejects, that would technically be a new high. Take your short into the first week of December. We have a pivot possibly into December 11th. We don't know. But if it breaks down, you can take a little short. Just be cautious. Seasonality for holidays is very bullish. But we want to see maybe a back test of 676 going into, let's say, Monday or Tuesday area. If that defends on the smaller time frame, back up, because we do know that we have that 712 dark pool that is still waiting for us.